Welcome back. In this video we're going to do a quick flip through of my December 2021 Astro Journal. This is something that I generally do most month. I have different pages going on and I thought this time I would share it with you. Nothing is absolutely perfect in here, and each month I do different actual spreads depending on what's happening astrologically, which things are coming through. But I just wanted to do a flip through and show you how I actually work with these journals, and maybe it will inspire you. If you're new here, my name is Alison. I like to combine astrology and art, and so astro art is one of those things that I like to work with, where you have these visual images and reminders about what's happening with the planets, rather than just having to do all the cookbook stuff of Jupiter in the first house, Jupiter, in Aquarius or whatever it is, and you're just learning solid rote stuff. Once you get past that, it's a fun way to bring astrology into your life without going overboard. It can be something that even a beginner astrologer or an aspiring astrologer, as I like to call them, will actually be able to do. So you've got these diagrams, and if you like journaling at all, it makes sense to have a look at doing some astro journaling work, and that's what we're going to talk about right now. So here we are. This is the December cover page. I've got the natural wheel drawn here. So I've got the signs coloured in, where we've got the fire signs are the primary colours: Aries red, Leo yellow and Sagittarius blue. The air signs will be the secondary colours, so Gemini is orange, Libra is green and Aquarius is violet. And then the water and earth signs become the tertiary colours that fit in between after that. We then move along, and on the outer side I've drawn all the planets that are in the chart, and some are moving with the dotted lines. You can see where the planets are going to be moving. Many planets don't move very far at all, but if a planet is changing sign, we certainly note it there. And then we do have the one planet that's actually going to be retrograding as well. I also note the lunar phases, the 4 main lunar phases, not all 8. So we've got the full moon, the solar eclipse coming up, and the first quarter and last quarter. I did a little bit of decoration here to show going from the Holly King to the Oak King, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later. I always like to draw the cover page where you've got from the 1st of December to the end of December, or whatever month it is you're working on, where you can actually see the movements of the planets at a glance, what's happening, which signs they're moving in, and what's going on. Next, I have a page for Yule, which is one of the segments of the Wheel of the Year. Yule is actually on December the 21st, when the sun enters Capricorn. It's also the solstice, so it's the winter solstice in the northern hemisphere and the summer solstice in the southern hemisphere. I do have the symbol in the top left there for Yule, and also the oak leaf again in the top right. So what we have here is I have a little diagram of the Yule log, and the idea is with Yule that you have a tree, a great big tree, and you bring it in and you start burning your log in your hearth on the 21st at the big end, basically. And as the tree burns down, you slowly shove this tree into your grate, and you burn the whole tree during the course of Yule, keeping a little bit for you to light the next year's Yule log with from the little piece that you left over from this year. Next, I have the full spread, the full calendar for December, and I draw it out quite simply here in my journal. And I do highlight when we have ingresses, when planets are changing sign. So Mars is entering Sag, Mercury into Capricorn, Sun into Capricorn, and Jupiter into Pisces. I also note that Venus will be retrograding on that date. And then I also note the lunar phases, the 4 main lunar phases: the solar eclipse, the first quarter, the full moon, and the last quarter. A little bit more decorations. Now, I will use this page for my content calendar for what I'm doing with YouTube and teaching and classes and what have you, and I will add stuff into this calendar and use it during the course of the month. And to be honest, sometimes there's just not enough room to write everything that's going on, because I really only do a monthly spread. I'm not particularly into weekly spreads, but I do what I can, and yeah, I enjoy this spread particularly. The next one is I have a page of I'm calling this planets on the move, the planets that are actually moving, and some thoughts I have about it in no particular order. So the sun is entering Capricorn on the 21st, and my comments there are: complete all public festivities to concentrate on special people. assess your past year, make a plan. Because from December the 21st, you really need to have all your public seasonal activities done, and then you're going to be focusing on your special people, which will actually be your family and so on. Then on the 13th, Mercury is entering Capricorn as well. Get all seasonal shopping in the bag early. Gift self-improvement classes and education. On the 19th, Venus goes retrograde in Capricorn. So here, reassess romantic and love relationships for viability. Practice financial austerity for a brighter future. My idea is that you really want to get all your shopping done between the 13th and the 19th, because that will be the best time to do these purchases in December. Then on the 13th, Mars enters Sagittarius, energizes all outgoing personalities, and be bright, bold, and confident at this time. And then on the 29th, Jupiter enters Pisces. Make space in your life for some whimsy, grow big dreams, and meandering is the name of the game. So those are some of my thoughts for the planets on the move this month. Then I have a slightly deeper look at the lunar phases, particularly. So on December 4th, we do have a solar eclipse at 12 degrees Sagittarius. My thoughts here are follow your instincts. It will be squaring Neptune, so there will be internal dilemmas around your visions and atmospheres. It also sextiles Saturn, so I'm suggesting work your inherent talents. And it does trine Chiron, so be guided by the events of the day. So you've got to be alert when this eclipse is happening. Then on the 11th, we have the first quarter at 19 Pisces. My thoughts there are grow through art and music, build meaningful attitudes, and face your crises head on. On the 19th, we have the full moon at 27 Gemini. So journal for clarity, eyes wide open to reality at this time. On the 27th, we have the last quarter at 5 degrees Libra. My thoughts are reorientate personal relationships, readjust your plans now, and pioneer plans as well. So those are my thoughts on the 4 lunar phases that are just popping up one each week for the whole month of December. Next up, I have a page called Planet of the Month, because each month I do like to pick one planet out that's making the biggest impact on everybody's lives as whatever it's doing. And in this case, it will be Jupiter moving into Pisces on the 29th, very much towards the end of the year. It's going to really be the whole of 2022. And what I'm saying here is on Jupiter enters Pisces for the second time, actually, in 12 years. It's moving in because it was there earlier in this year. In its own sign, it's comfortable. It brings higher awareness of a spiritual journey. Be open to teaching that creates a perception shift. Growth is likely through understanding more than at other times. International connections become blurred now. Expand your life by following your inner voice. Trust your own judgment and don't follow public opinion. So Jupiter, of course, rules Pisces. It's the traditional ruler of Pisces, and it is very well placed there. It will then give Saturn a run for its money because Saturn's in Aquarius. So they're both now in dignity during 2022, which is going to be quite kind of interesting. And it just depends on your natal chart whether you're going to find Jupiter more prominent for you or Saturn more prominent for you. I also did a little diagram there of actual Jupiter, little arty thing, which has always got the big red spot. That's how you know it's Jupiter, and of course with some extra colouring and so on. So this is how I have set up my Astro Journal for December 2021. Some months are different. I have different pages, and I do all sorts of different patterns. It depends what's coming up astrologically, and if you'd be interested in seeing how I actually construct these pages, let me know in the comments. So there it is. I've shared with you my December 2021 Astro Journal setup. When we get into next year, 2022, I have a new book I'm working on anyway. And if you'd be interested in seeing me actually developing and creating these pages, let me know below and I'll run some videos around that idea. Otherwise, I may just continue on doing the monthly what's coming up and showing you what I have in my Astro Journal that I use every day, that I take with me to support my astrology business. I'm Alison Price. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.